working on the final kind of deals.
So in your mind, looking back over what you've done with Spotify, do you think you have expanded at a sensible pace? Or could you have gone faster?
I think we've done it probably at the right pace. I mean, I wanted to launch in, I think it was 40 countries at once, but I'm very happy that I had people around me that said, let's try these. I think they wanted to try it in 3 markets to begin with, and I managed to convince them to try it in 6 or 7 countries to begin with. So I mean, we not everything was according to plan either, but yeah, I'm happy that we're at the pace where we're at now because we know a lot more about the differences between UK and Spain, or France and Sweden, or because there's huge differences, and we can take good things from every market and apply them to the other markets as well.
So are you a closet DJ or a closet musician?
I'm a closet musician.
Really?
So yeah, I do play a couple of instruments, but guitar is my main instrument. But I played around with the accordion. I played around with a couple of other instruments as well. So.
And what's on your iPod?
Oh, right now it's a mixture between Kings of Leon. I'm listening quite a lot to Coldplay because I'm going to see them on Saturday, which is nice. It's actually the 4th concert I'm going to since we started Spotify. It's not that I don't get invited, but unfortunately I don't have time to go to the concert, so that's great, and I will go with my family as well, so that will be fun.
So is Spotify a consolation prize for the fact that you're not a rock star?
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, well, strictly not in the entrepreneurial sense. Obviously you are, but apart from that.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that, building companies and building great stuff has always been something that I've been interested in doing. I didn't know that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I just knew that I liked building stuff, and I could have done it for someone else, but people didn't listen to my crazy ideas that I had, so I figured it was better if I built them on my own, and then I started realizing that, I can actually do this. So, I mean, being an entrepreneur has never kind of been the ultimate end goal for me. Just building things has been the end goal, and as long as you think it's fun to build stuff, then I think you're definitely right. You've got the right job if you're an entrepreneur.
You've had a pretty charmed launch, I would say, having watched it as an industry observer and, been previously in broadcasting. And, I mean, my colleague Rory Kaplan-Jones has helped you in no small way in that regard. Looking at the PR campaign, would you say it was solely organic? Was it semi-organized? Did you hire good PR people? What was the key?
So, I mean, we do have PR people. But what's really interesting with Spotify is the fact that if you look at all the press that we got, a lot of people think that we've actually reached out to a lot of people, which is not the case. We respond to incoming questions. We got 3 people working full-time responding to incoming press requests, and we're not actively reaching out. I think the number of press releases that we've done is 4, where 3 of them was 2 of them were actually pending the launch, and the other 2 were now when we released the iPhone and the Android one. Those are the only press releases we've done. Everything else has been inbound from media. And I just think that what we've done when it comes to press and PR is the fact that we've spent every money that we could have spent on marketing on building a better product. And that's ultimately led to a viral marketing, which is what, especially in the internet sense, what all entrepreneurs want. And, free music is obviously a very good viral product in itself.
So for everyone else in the audience that is the entrepreneurial or thinking of being that or getting into something online, you've nicked music, good and proper. What areas do you think are not well represented on the net?
I think there's so much to do. I mean, I just look at, if it's not, I mean, one easy thing to do is look at the world. Now, I was in China quite recently, and looking at China now, it's got more than 100 million broadband users. I mean, that's a spectacular figure. The number of people with an internet connection now, I think, surpasses 200 million. That's almost the size of the US population. And we're talking about something that's growing, and that's just China. Then take India, take a lot of other markets, and you start seeing that there are niches around the world. There are concepts which exist in the Western world which Asia doesn't have, and the same thing is true as well. There's great companies like QQ in China that has more users than Skype, more revenues than Skype. But the fact is, no one knows what it is. But it's really staggering how broad the world is. I just think that whatever you do, there might be concepts that aren't new, but think of one problem and one solution to that problem, and you can build a whole company around it. Actually, Spotify is exactly that. Our problem is just playing music. The simple problem of just playing music. We figured that it hadn't been done yet, in the sense with a library of licensed music. We just wanted to be able to play music. And if you look at that problem and look at if we've designed the product after that, have we solved the use case? And I think we have. But then all the other things, such as music recommendations, such as sharing music, hasn't been our focus until now. But we started off with the use case of actually just playing music.
Well, somebody said to me before when I was going to ask you that question, they said, actually, I think the answer is pet food and animals. They are not overexploited on the net. Maybe there's a Petify follow-up from Spotify. I don't know.
Who knows?
So look, we've got time for some questions now from you lot in the audience. If you would like to ask a question, if you could just raise your hand, do the obvious thing of saying who you are when the microphone comes to you. We've got mics up there. We've got. Can we bring a mic down here for the front and give the first one to Milo?
Hiya.
Oh,
first one to...
Sorry.
We'll wait.
Just testing it. Should we start with Milo down the bottom?
Thank you. Milo Yiannopoulos, TechCrunch Europe. You were talking about the next big challenge being sharing playlists, helping people to share the music that they love. There have been some services springing up already, like sharemyplaylists.com, which are attempting to sort of create that functionality around Spotify. How do you see what you're going to do fitting in with them, or do you see what you're going to build as replacing them completely?
I mean, we see sites such as Share My Playlist as an ecosystem around Spotify, and we want to provide more tools to enable more developers to build interesting things around Spotify. Because we obviously can't do everything, but we want to be the platform around playing music and have other people develop other cool concepts. And there's a lot of things being developed as we speak. So we don't want to replace them. What I'm talking about being more social is just making it easier for people to share playlists. I think Share My Playlist in my world is a playlist aggregation site where you can. It's got nothing really to do with your friends or sharing music with your friends. It's got more to do with sharing music with the world, and that's not a concept that we intend to replicate with Spotify, but we're more kind of looking at how you can share music easier with your friends, and people in your close vicinity as well.
Do you want to bring the mic just up to this gentleman here on the fourth row? Oh, second. Okay, that's fine. Let's have you and then you. Oh, whichever way.
Thanks. Hi, Andreas from Fraser Finance. Daniel, question to you. In your quest to establish Spotify as it is, would you say that the acquisition of the rights, of the music rights, was the big secret? And if you compare it to guys like Pandora in the US, who still haven't managed to come over here, for whatever reason, which I don't quite understand, but still haven't managed, although they have been in the UK actually and have retreated, right? Is that the big secret in reality?
I think that there's two secrets. I think that's one of the secrets. The other one is the actual product. So you have to understand that we wouldn't have managed to do the licensing the way we did the licensing unless we had the product. So we actually built the product before we licensed the content. And we were able to kind of show what sort of user experience we wanted in the end. And I think that's made a lot of people at the record label see, hey, this is actually something really great. So I don't want to take away the product because I think the product